So while it is no secret that affording what most consider necessities, such as rent, education, transportation, seem to be getting more and more expensive, our friends over at AJ Plus have revealed that the disparity between your income and the cost of living is just gaining exponentially, even compared to that of our parents. Let's take a look at one of their videos now.
My parents had their first child in 1980. The median income for an 18 to 34-year-old was around $36,000. Today, that median income for the same age group is closer to $34,000. And minimum wage has gone down too. But while incomes have gone down, the price of most major expenses has gone up.
What? So you can, yeah, it's insane, and you can watch the full video by clicking the clip and subscribing to AJ Plus for more videos like this. But in this video, the full video, they compare different aspects of living that have just increased tremendously, while our paychecks really haven't moved, and in fact, in some cases, they have decreased. So it's pretty insane, and at the end, I'm gonna, spoiler alert, they basically say game over. And you're just kind of like, well, okay, that's basically it.
I know for a
well, we're screwed.
I do know, I saw a statistic that 50% of all wage earners in America earn less than $30,000. So what does this go to? This goes to trickle-down supply-side economics is a failure, right? Because the economy stagnates when wealth is concentrated in the hands of a few people, which is what's happening right now. FDR proved the opposite actually stimulates economies, which is demand economy, which is Keynesian economy, which is you put money in the pockets of the worker spends that money, which is why unemployment benefits are such a boon to the economy. Yeah. So we keep doing it backwards. Everybody's ideas are always cut taxes and then we'll create jobs. We're going to get, I know there's this clip going around right now on Facebook. It's from the old Roseanne Barr show. And the clip is this guy comes to get her vote.
Oh, I've seen that.
Have you seen this one? Yeah. And she says, well, what's your plan to bring jobs here? And he says, we're going to cut taxes for the company and then they'll come here. And she said, well, who pays the taxes that the company's not paying? He goes, well, you do. What? And he said, well, how we're going to pay them, but they're going to be good union jobs? Oh, no, they're not unions or else they wouldn't come. So we're going to get shitty jobs.
And pay for the privilege.
And the privilege, we're going to pay their taxes. Yeah. So that's what's been happening in America, yet no one seems to have come up with a better idea. Nobody knows that infrastructure spending actually does create jobs. It actually does make an economy boon. Putting money in the pockets of raising the minimum wage, strengthening unions. No one, you can't even still say union anywhere in America. It's still, there's something wrong with you. Yeah. Right? Even though professional basketball players have unions, professional baseball, the richest people in America have unions, right? Nurses have unions, pilots have unions, but somehow a guy who works at a fast food restaurant isn't supposed to be afforded the same protection of a union as a guy who makes $1 million a year is.
And even worse, believes that he shouldn't be in a union. It's not just that he's not allowed to by law now. He has been actually trained to believe that unions are horrible for him.
I saw a guy... Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, combine all that you said about the trickle-down economics, and then you also deregulate the financial system so that every once in a while, your economy crashes, and a whole bunch of middle-class savings simply vanishes. And then you set up the recovery so that you do recover in an absolute sense, but all of the returns from that recovery go to the richest people in the country. You combine those two things, and no wonder we haven't gained any ground in 40 years.
And even bringing it back down to the individual paying for education and trying to get a great job and things like that. I mean, they compared some of the numbers that the average public college tuition in the 80s was $2,400, and now it's $91, whereas you know, private school, the average is $31K. I mean, that is absurd. Yeah. And then you come out and you're in debt and you have to pay off your loans. Of course, you're not gonna be able to pay your rent and find a job and pay, you know, have a second job probably, and then try to have all of these other things going on in your life. So you can't be expected to live up to your parents' expectations or their standards of living because you are in so much debt.
So, Hannah, where did you go to college?
I went to Duke.
Oh, nice. Check out the big brain on Hannah. Listen, now, so when you applied for your job here at the Young Turks, did they call Duke to make sure that that was real, that you really went there?
That's a good point.
They didn't.
No, nobody does. So it doesn't fucking matter. My brother said he went to the University of Chicago, and he didn't even go to college. And he became vice president of major corporations.
Is he still the vice president?
He is a loser. No, now he drives a school bus for the health insurance. The point is... The point is, no one checks. It doesn't matter.
And after going to Harvard,
let's
don't go to college. College is a scam. Figure out what you want to do with life. Steve Jobs didn't go to college, finish college. The other Microsoft guy didn't. Bill Gates didn't finish frickin' college. You don't need to finish college.
I still like college.
I enjoyed my period at college, and I think there's a lot of benefits to college that don't just come from taking classes or having that on your resume. Yes. So I think, I do think it's a beneficial institution. Nothing against people who don't go to college, but I think the real issue here is how much it costs.
Yes, that is the issue. And what I'm saying
is, but there are benefits, and I should know because I went to Princeton.
I used to put,
now on.
I used to put on my Facebook page, I went to Columbia College in Chicago, not Columbia University in New York like Ben did.
Yeah.
And but then we ended up saying, and then
that's true.
But I would just put Columbia, and people are like, oh, really? Nobody's gonna check. I went to Columbia College, but people go Columbia. They think because I do political comedy that I'm smart. I'm not. Right? So people don't know. People do not know. Just do what you want to do in life. Figure it out.
Just lie and get ahead.
Lie about your education. No, I'm saying if college was like it was in the 80s, I went to college. I went and I finished. I got my bachelor's. Mm-hmm. So I did think that there was a value in it. I do.
Right. Do you still think there's a value in it?
Yes, there's definitely a value in it, but it's not worth it now because of how much it costs. So I remember a friend of mine, he owns liquor stores, and his daughter wanted to go to college. And he said, no, I'm going to give you $100,000. Go open your own liquor store. And then you pay for your own goddamn college if you still want to go. And that's what she did. She went and opened her own liquor store. Now she got a great business. And that's what I'm talking about. Once it becomes not cost effective anymore to get a college education, I would rather take that money and invest it in something I want to do and then get an education if I want.